Today's video is going to be kind of the first installment in my law school series. I'm a law student in Canada. I'm going into my second year this upcoming September, so I'm hoping to do some vlogging once school starts, but we'll see if that actually happens. But for now, I thought I would give you some tips for law school and all my expertise. So right now I'm in the process of choosing my courses for next year, which is quite a struggle. So I don't know how it is for other law schools, so just to preface everything, this is only my personal experience and my opinion, and it's only for the school that I go to. I don't know how it is at other schools. For your first year, going into law school, you basically have all of your courses chosen for you for the most part. All of the courses for first year are bundled, so you just pick a bundle. Say you're in section A, then you'll have torts at a certain time, you'll have criminal law at a certain time, and it's all kind of set for you, so you don't have to worry about mixing and matching and making sure everything works. You just pick that, and then you're good. And then you also get to pick one thematic course, so it's like an elective. So that's first year. So for second year, it's more difficult because you now get to choose every course that you want. University of Ottawa, you have 4 courses that you have to take in your upper years, so you really get a lot of flexibility, which is not what I expected for law school. The hard thing about second year is that the third year students get to choose first, and we're all choosing from the same pool of courses, which means that like all the courses that I want to take might already be chosen before I even get to pick, which is a little bit scary. So I'm just hoping that I will get all of the ones that I want, or at least most of them. If you don't get into it right away, usually the few weeks before school starts, or even once school has started, there's a lot of shuffling. So just because you don't get into it right away doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get into it at all. So I have some tips for choosing courses, things that I am trying to do or follow myself when I'm choosing my courses. And of course, again, this is just my own opinion, so it might be different for you. And this also is based upon what people have told me, so take it with a grain of salt. So it was suggested to me to not really specialize in law school, because everybody always asks you, like when you're going to law school, oh, what kind of law do you want to do? What kind of lawyer do you want to be? And you're like, I don't know, I haven't even got there yet. And I still get that question all the time. I think the best thing that you can do is to not specialize. You don't know where you're going to end up. The hope is that you end up, articling at a law firm that you actually, that focuses on an area that you'd actually want to learn about and maybe work in the future. But it's not necessarily possible. And the other thing is you have no idea what you are going to end up being interested in. If there's one thing that I've learned, most people, start out thinking that they're interested in a particular area, or maybe just don't know at all, and they end up going a totally different route, and they end up somewhere completely different than they thought, and it ends up working out way better. But it's not a direct route to the destination that you end up at. It's very kind of an indirect route. So it's okay to not know what you want to do and what area you want to focus on. So I think the best thing when you're choosing your courses is to pick a variety. That I suggest taking something that you absolutely think you're going to hate. You could. You never know. If it's a really good professor, it might be something to consider, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm trying to, if you can see my list here, it's double-sided. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like a double-sided list of a bunch of options, and they're just courses that I'm willing to take, not necessarily ones that I'm really interested in. Absolutely no, and I don't know if that's even possible, but if you really know an area that you're focused on or that you want to focus in, maybe you want to choose to specialize. Maybe you want to take a bunch of courses in that area. The challenging thing is, if you find an area that you think you're interested in, the only way you're really going to know is if you take a bunch of courses in it. So to avoid doing that, you never really get to know if you're really interested in it. So do with that what you will. So the other part of registering for courses is choosing the times that you want to take. So some courses are only offered, at one particular time, or only offered a couple times in one semester. which makes it a little bit harder. But some are offered quite a few times, and you have to choose the time that works best for you. So for me personally, I guess you could say I'm a morning person. I don't love getting up in the morning, but I like being up in the morning. So when I'm up like super early, I feel like so much better. I just like being up. I feel like I have so much more of the day ahead of me, and I just really like that. And I find, or at least I found this past year, that I'm way more productive in the morning than I am in the evening. I'm probably going to do my best to take a lot of courses in the morning, or as many as possible. And try to avoid taking night courses. I don't like night courses, so I'm going to try not to take a lot of those, if I can help it. But and the other thing is, you want to make sure you're choosing courses at a time that you are going to be the most productive, so that you can really make the most of them. Like if you know that you're not a morning person, maybe taking morning classes isn't the best idea. So you have to kind of decide that for yourself and figure out what your most productive time is. The other thing for me is, so I do like taking morning classes and just getting them over with and being able to come home and then spend the rest of the day reading or studying or whatever. But the other thing is, this past semester I had a couple of morning classes, and I also had a couple that didn't start until like 1 o'clock. And I actually found that was kind of nice, because then on those days I could get up really early and just get right into homework and do that for a bit, and it was really productive for me, and then I would go to class in the afternoon. For me, I do like morning classes. I like getting up and just getting it over with, but at the same time I'll try and mix it with a little bit of afternoon classes, so that I do get that morning time to really be super productive, and then in the evenings I'm really not very productive. So it might be better for me to actually take evening classes, because since I don't do a lot of homework during that time, at least I can be sitting in class, but yeah, I don't really want to do that. So anyway, you just kind of have to choose your courses based on what you're interested in, and based on when you're the most productive, and when you think you're going to get the most out of them. Even if you don't get the courses that you want, I'm trying to tell myself this too, even if I don't get the courses that I want, you're going to learn something from every course that you take, and it's going to be beneficial anyway. It's great if you get to learn what you're interested about, but maybe you will find something else that you're interested in that you never would have thought, or maybe you're still not that interested in it, but you learn something new about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're spending a lot of money to be there, and a lot of money to learn as much as you can. So take advantage of it. The other thing people often do is choose courses based on who the professor is. If it's someone that I have had before and I personally know that I like that professor, that's a little bit different. But if it's someone else telling me what they think about the professor, people have very different ideas about what they consider a really good professor. So take what other people say about professors with a grain of salt. Often they're pretty correct, they're pretty accurate usually. When someone says that a professor is very approachable, very friendly, and very interesting, they're probably right. But people learn with different professors. Just don't make it the most important thing to you, especially if you've never had the professor before, because what you like in a professor and what you think makes for a good professor is not necessarily going to be what other people think. It's not, and they're not necessarily going to be the best for you to learn from. I don't think I have anything else to say about choosing courses. Thank you so much for watching. I hope some of these tips were at least a little bit helpful. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to know about choosing courses or registering or anything else about law school. I will try to give you my best advice. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!